Hello everyone and welcome to Kohiya. I'm Yahiko and today I'm excited to share my first video on this channel with you all. So what is this channel about? Kohiya isn't a traditional art channel but rather a reflection of an artist who has struggled with low self-esteem and now striving to improve and reigniting their passion for creating illustration. My goal is to create content that encourage aspiring artists to challenge themselves regarding what they were not confident with. I'll be sharing my own art journey, tips, techniques, and inspirations to help you on your artistic path. For example, I'm not confident with my drawing speed at all, and I know many of you can relate. It's easy to feel guilty or discouraged over the amount of time it takes to complete a drawing. Some may say quality over quantity, and you should feel bad over it. But let's be honest, in today's fast-paced world, consistency is key to staying relevant and gaining viewership. And this is why my first video will be a literal speed draw. The goal was to motivate myself to draw without getting distracted by multitasking activities like browsing social media or watching YouTube videos while drawing. So let's dive in and see how I approach this challenge. In today's video, I'll be doing a speed paint while referencing a post from another artist, Kimiya Kuyuru. I absolutely adore their art style and I admire the way they draw as well. The software I'm using is Clip Studio Paint and I'm using XP Pen Deco 01 V2 as my drawing tablet. I start by sketching out the post with the reference picture on the side. I recommend using PureRef, a wonderful tool that allows you to create mood boards and easily put up pictures for reference on your screen without having to switch out your canvas. After that, I drew another sketch on a new canvas, this time without the visual reference, and I could only draw the pose from memory. Dynamic poses and captivating compositions are something that can attract attention, but they can be challenging for beginners without a solid foundation in art. You may get inspired with wonderful ideas in your head, but to execute such ideas, it's not easy to find the perfect pose reference online, and it's quite embarrassing to ask someone to take a photo of you posing in a certain way. Since I believe that my anatomy knowledge is passable, I rarely look up reference and surprise, they end up in the work in progress folder because I feel like I was discouraged by the fact that I wasn't capable enough to draw out what I had in mind. That's where reference come in handy. They help with research and studying about how objects appear from a certain perspective. However, it's not shameless to challenge yourself by using your own understanding and imagination if you don't want to heavily rely on reference. I was struggling with the hair over here only to realize later that it was meant to have a horn in that spot. Classic OC artist, am I right? Imagine being forgetful over your own OC design. One thing I did differently from my usual drawing process is that I didn't care about how messy the lines were when zoomed in. Because trust me, my past artworks all have really clean line arts and even so, I still like doing line art. Hands are something that many artists struggle with, and so does AI. I eventually learned how to draw hands properly by tracing my own hands in the beginning. It's not perfect, but then again in art, perfection is subjective. After finishing the head, which is my favorite part to draw, it's time to cry as I try to do line art for the body now. I'm not an expert when it comes to line weight, so I had to go back and darken some lines. The outcome wasn't perfect, but since the goal was a speed drawing, I didn't dwell on it too much. Clothing folds was something I struggled with during my time in art college. I remember my lecturer emphasizing the importance of understanding how folds conform to the shape of the body. And voila! This drawing was complete in 3 hours, which is quite fast for me considering I often spend 6 hours just on the line art for the head alone. So, to summarize what I did to achieve a faster drawing speed today, I looked up reference to simplify the process of sketching out my idea. I didn't obsess over perfect line art and only fixed it when I noticed something was off. Remember to flip your canvas while drawing to check for any drawing errors. I minimized distractions and stay focused on drawing. And that's a wrap on this speed paint. I hope you enjoy watching my process and found it helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe to Kohiya for more art-related content and view our community of supportive artists together. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Stay cozy!